Welcome. Sit back, get comfy, and let's get to it. Sit at My Grave, Season 5, Ugly, Chapter 4. The deep guttural sound of the engine starting and stopping filled the night's quiet again and again. The storm thankfully hadn't been harsh any longer. Wind and thunder, but the rain let up. Still, it was all the least of his problems. Reed got out of his car, shoes hitting the slick, broken pavement. He trudged around to the front of it for what felt like the 100th time. The night around it was bitter. Every odd sound was another harsh reminder of how far it was from familiarity. And working under that weak, flickering streetlight just added to the brutal moment. He checked under the hood again and went back to trying to start it up. It was like clockwork. So many moving parts he was trying to keep up with. Getting it to move was becoming tiring. As Reed got behind his car, pushing it again, trying and failing to get it running, he felt the sweat trickle down his brow. He gritted his teeth, grunting, as he rolled the car a bit down the road again. He was exhausted with everything. The night was meant to be incredible, surrounded by family, friends, and success. It turned into this, alone in the eerie dark, trying to make it home. He was getting tempted to just finish his drinks and sleep in his car, worry about everything else tomorrow. Piece of junk! Reed shouted, kicking the car's tire. He got back in, trying to make it start. He leaned on the steering wheel, putting his head down, his inky black bangs sticking to his forehead. To his surprise, the car started, causing him to whip his head up, eyes widening. He yelled out in triumph, his voice carrying across the empty area. Finally, something was looking up. That whole band stuff doesn't work out. I could be a mechanic. Reed jested, starting to cruise down the street again. As he drove, trying hard to watch for street signs, he had to be reminded he was still lost. How's it I've been all around and can't find where I came from? Reed mumbled to himself. He turned another corner, his headlights glowing over a rusted old dumpster, bursting full. The more he rode around, confusion continued to set in. It seemed he went down the same street more than once, but he didn't dare stop his car, afraid it might not start easily again. Reed sat back, driving down the street. He let out an exhausted breath, starting to question if he was actually sober or not. He rubbed at his heavy eyelids, thinking he would make a turn at the next dead end. Soon, something gave him a bit of hope. He started to see a little bit of light further down the street. Different colors, bright enough to see from that far. Reed sat up. Finally, he could find other people. He glanced around, seeing his gas was running out. One thing after the other, thought rolling his eyes. It didn't matter as much now, though. He would hopefully be out soon. Reed suddenly had to hit hard on the brakes, seeing a figure in front of the car. "That's a good way to die!" He started to shout, but paused. His straight gaze recognizing the face immediately in the headlights. What the... Arden? Reed questioned. He saw his brother standing, hands in his pockets, his figure illuminated by the light. He had an annoyed expression, but he was there. Reed's frown of shock quickly lifted, a tired smirk appearing on his face, lip quirking to one side. He almost felt like laughing. He could feel the pressure melt off his shoulders. It felt like he let out a true sigh for the first time in hours. Arden shifted his weight, tilting his head. His heavy, tired eyes somehow held their sharpness, his mouth and brows matching an aggravated scowl. None of it mattered, though. He was exhausted and angry, but he showed up, just like he had. "Artie!" Reed called out. Arden just stared back, a gentle scoff leaving his mouth, yet he didn't move. There were so many ways this could go, knowing himself and his brother. The prior events wouldn't be discussed, at least not properly. It was just the way they both have it, though. "Get out," Arden spoke. "Wow, not even a hello. He's a charmer," Reed teased. He chuckled, seeing his brother roll his eyes. "Just get out," he repeated. He shifted his weight again, but he kept his hands firmly in his pockets. "I can't. Gotta keep the car going or it stays off." Reed told him. As much as he wanted the back and forth, they were both ready for bed. I got a handle, just get out, Arden insisted. Never heard that before. So demanding. So, what? Reed started. He leaned away for a moment, grabbing his keys, phone, and wallet, securing them in his pocket, along with his lighter and a cigarette. Did I interrupt your beauty sleep or something? He finished, looking up at Arden, smirking again. He hoisted the cigarette between his teeth. He paused briefly, confusion setting in his face, when he no longer saw Arden in his headlights. A knock at his driver window grabbed his attention quickly, goosebumps briefly raking up his skin.